Okay, so you'll see I already have Eclipse started and all that good stuff done. So I'm going to create a new project, a new Java project in Eclipse, and I'm going to call the project name Products. I'm then going to come down, I'm going to do like we always do, and I'm going to create a class. All right. And the package is going to be products with a small p, and the name is going to be product driver. All right. And I am going to include my public static void main. So this is my driver class. Then I'm going to come over here and under the products package, I'm going to right click products package, I'm going to go to new, I'm going to go to class. Now notice this says products and the package. It's important that the actual product class, the actual object you're creating, is in the same package as your driver class. So now I'm going to just say products. No public static void main here because this class does not run. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my driver class. And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say, okay, it says define class variables. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it right here in the class before we have any methods. Right. There we go. 2 slashes, define class variables. Alright. So I have a private, can't spell private this morning, string description and a private double, I'm sorry, we wanted that float, price, and a private, I cannot spell private for some reason. Now this int PRODID. Okay. Now these are instance variables. One instance of each variable will be set aside in main for every product instance, or in memory, not in main, in memory, for every product instance we create. The next one you're going to see is just a little bit different. It's a static. And our static variable sets aside one instance, period. So if I create 10 products objects, there will still only be one count. There will be 10 descriptions, 10 prices, 10 products ID, but one count. And it makes sense because what I'm doing is I'm counting the number of instances I am creating. Okay, so right here, this little yellow thing. Well, let's do the constructor first because we want these under the constructor. All right. So when we do our constructor in Java, it's public and it has the same name as the class. So this and this must be exactly the same. Now, once we have that up there, then what we're going to do is put in our parameters. So I have a string description in, a float price in, and an integer product ID in. Okay. Now that's all, this is all my method header right here, including the parameters. So I'm going to put my brackets All right. So this needs to indent. This is end of constructor. This is end of class. And that'll be critical here in a few minutes when we add some more procedures. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to set description equal description in, and price equals price in, and product ID equals product ID in. And then we're going to, oh, I made, okay, that needs to be a small letter. There we go. And then I need to increment my count. Okay, that's all that has to go in my constructor. Now, if I come over here, you notice that the only thing here was to set my attributes equal to my parameters, my input parameters. Right, now, did I leave something out of it? Sure I did. I didn't take into account the fact that I wanted to count these. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to add a cell or a row, and I'm going to say one to count. Okay. I'm going to say add one to count, then I'm going to copy this. And put it back in, put it in as my comment. So I've done everything I need to do in the pseudocode. So I'm going to go back over here to the pseudocode, and then I have my toString method. All right. So I go to where the end of my comment here, where it says end of constructor. I hit the enter key twice, and I say public string to string. And then I put my brackets in. Now it's going to give me an error, and the error is it must have a return statement. So yes, we know it has to have a return statement, and we'll get it to a return statement. You have to wait till we get there. So we're going to put a comment here that says end of toString method. Right. And then we're going to come up here, and we're going to, if we go down to here, this is what we're going to do in here. So we're going to copy this, we're going to paste it, we're going to put our comments in so it doesn't think we've lost our minds. All right, and then we're going to define our local variable. Our local variable is the string toString. So we're going to do string, str out. Okay, then we're going to start building our output string, and we build our output string using concatenation. So it's going to be str out equals description and I put the spaces in there so that it would you know, teaching VB and Java at the same time is never a good idea. All right, description, I put those spaces in there so that I could get everything to line up. And then I'm going to concatenate, and then I'm going to concatenate a new line character. Now remember, these are our escape characters, and then I'm going to have my semicolon. All right, and then we're going to do plus equal, which is going to concatenate this line on to the first line. And this line is going to be price and it won't exactly line up, but it'll be not bad. And then I'm also going to put my concatenation. Oops, and I put the wrong thing in there. I used the wrong slash. Has to be a backslash. There we go. Semicolon. All right. And then I'm going to do product ID. Okay. And that is, oh, not in. And then we're going to do another new line in case we have more of these coming, so we can have a space between each one. Okay. Now we have built the output string just like we were supposed to. Now we're going to return our output string by simply saying return str out. Right. This is the easiest way I know of to get your output situated the way it needs to be situated. Once you've done this, then you have your data in and your data out. Now, there's one last thing that this says, and this says to create the standard methods. All right. Now, that's really easy. Oops, hit the wrong button. It's really easy in Java. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit enter, and we're going to come back up here. And we're going to tell it to generate getters and setters. Now, we don't want count on there, so we're going to do description, price, and product ID. And we're simply going to click OK. Now, at the bottom here, right here, okay, I had the cursor in the wrong spot because I had the cursor inside the toString method. And do you see what happened? Let me see if I can get this to undo. It did. Okay. I needed to come to the toString method, hit the enter key. Now let's see what happens if I generate. Yeah. No. It still put it inside the, okay, it's putting them inside the toString method. So what we're going to have to do is put a closing bracket here and bring this closing bracket up. Do you see now? Why it's so important? To do it, to put your comments in. If I hadn't had those comments in, I wouldn't have realized what it did. Now what it did do actually is put another bracket here, and we have apparently an error there. Oh, I put a colon instead of a semicolon right there. Okay, semicolon. That will take care of that. Okay, so I'm not going to document each one. What I am going to do though is come down here and put a comment that says no, not end of toString method. Sorry about that. Create standard methods. The nice thing about standard methods in Java is that it will create them for you. Okay, create standard methods, it's all done. This is our first class that we have created on our own. We do not have any way to use it yet, and that's the problem. So I'm going to save this and then come over here to the Java class, the driver class. All right. Now the driver class should look very familiar. It's the same type of class we've been working with. And when we work with this driver class, it's relatively simple to do. All right. So what we're going to do here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to declare variables of being a products type, a new product. We're going to instantiate them. So we're going to do products P1 equals new products. All right. As soon as you see that new, that means you're calling the constructor. The constructor automatically tells you that you have to have description in, price in, and product ID in. So we're going with a widget, and then you're going to put a comma, and we're going to have 5.50, and then the ID is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to create, products, new products. Let's see if that helped. String double, okay, wait a minute. F. There we go. Because this is a float and not a double, I have to put an F after it, otherwise it automatically makes it a double. So we have products P2 equals new products, and this is a gadget. And it's going to be 1075 float and 4567 is its ID. Whoops, that didn't go where it was supposed to, did it? There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do products P3 equals new products thingamajig. That's one of those real expensive things. And actually, it's going to be $55.33 float. And that's its ID. And there's our semicolon. Now, okay, screwed something up here. Oops. Okay, put a comma instead of a period there. All right. I did not yet comment my brackets. Okay, so if we go back over here, oh, we didn't do the pseudocode for the driver class. Duh. Okay. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say driver class. This is why you do these things, so that you can make sure you don't screw them up. So you're going to define. We can either define local variables or instantiate products. some case you're going to have to do both because you're going to have variables other than products. And then we're going to output products. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, come back over here, put it in as my okay, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say the next thing we have to do is output. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to call the output method of the products class. So what we do is we do system dot out dot print line p1 dot toString. Now, what that does is go to the P1 instance, the widget instance of the that we created from the generic products object. It's going to get all of its information, so you're going to get all the widget information. And then we're going to do a blank line. And then we're going to do system.out.println p2.toString, and that's going to do the same thing as the first one, except it's going to output the gadget information. And the same for this. Okay, so let's save it. Now, ordinarily, you would not put the data in for the projects. That would be something that that would be something that would be entered by the user. However, right now we're just testing this class to see if it's even going to work. Okay, so here is our description of our widget. Here's our description of our gadget. And here's our description of our thingamajig. Looks good to me, but I haven't output the count yet, have I? I haven't told them how many products I've created. So let's go back over here to products. And I don't have it in my toString because I don't want it to show up for every one. I just want it to show up one time. All right. Notice that I did not create a standard method for count. So I'm going to come in here and I can click here and I can say create getter and setter for count. All right. If I double click that, now get count, set count. Okay. And it asks me exactly where I want to set it, and that's where I want to put it. Now I know I don't actually want to get. I don't actually want to set. But all I have to do to avoid that is just delete it. Easier that way. It doesn't have anywhere where we can tell it to make it read only, which is essentially what this does. Okay, so then we save this again, and we come back over here, and we do a print line. And then what we're going to do here is call products.getCount. Okay, we're going to save it, and then we're going to run it. Oh, errors. What? I don't have any. What did I screw up here? No. I don't know what that did. That should not have changed that. Okay. Alright. We're fine. Again. I'm sorry. Plus. Why did I put the 1 there? Alright. We're fine. Let's try it again. Notice though, even though I'm on the products Java, if I hit run here, it's going to try to just run this class. I have to be on the driver class in order to run this. Alright, and there we have it, our widget, our gadget, our thingamajig, and our 3. So what this project has done is created its class with its own attributes, used the constructor to set values for those attributes, used the toString method to output those attributes, created all of the standard methods, created a read-only method in count because we're adding 1 to it. We then created a product driver class which instantiated 3 instances or created 3 instances of the new products class and then output everything. I'm going to close off the video here now and we'll take questions.